going to be in charge of recording. There we go. So we are recording. We were asked to do that so that others could watch later. Y'all, I'm so excited. This is so different on the computer. I'm actually on my computer and not on my phone, and it is so different. But it's okay. So, really and truly tonight, I really thought a couple of weeks ago of what I was going to talk about tonight. And um, it was completely and totally 100%. I knew when it hit me. And I talked with Kelly a little bit about it, and she was like, go for it. So we are going to go for it. And the more and more that I thought about it, the more I'm like, so many times, and you've probably heard this too, that not everyone makes it. You have to be special. You have to be popular. Only this type of person can do this. And you can only be successful if you have this. And y'all, it is not true. It is not true at all. And I will tell you, I was one of those people too. Oh, I don't have a huge following. I'm not that popular person in my town. Like, people know me and they like me, but I'm not like that influential person. And so for so long, I doubted myself. And I told Kelly before too, and some others I've told, I'm not afraid to fail because I'm used to failing. Like, I'm used to quitting. Like, that was just second nature to me. And it was like, no big deal, whatever. And y'all, I'm telling you, last month I was running after 12K. And when I say that I was running, it was the first time that, I kept saying over and over I was running for it. Like, I wanted it and I was doing things. But last month was the first month that I put action behind what I was saying. And not only was I putting the action, but I was living up to the words that were coming out of my mouth. I was making those hard contacts. I was reaching out to people and having those conversations with people that I was nervous to have. And I will tell you, I did not hit 12K last month. And I am ecstatic that it was not my time just yet. And y'all, I'm going to tell you the story of how it happened because it's just amazing. And I want you to stop and think as I'm telling the story. I want you to think about what's happening in your life right now. I want you to think about what has happened in the past, what's happening now in the present, and what potentially could happen in the future. And the reason I want you to think about that is because each and every one of you has a story like what I'm about to tell you. You just have to be present and you have to be aware of those things that have happened, happening now, and are going to happen so that those stories can be brought to light. And it's going to give you that motivation to continue to go. So, as I said last month, I ran for it. I was like, this gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen. I want this. I know I can do it. I know that my purpose is here and this team and loving on all of you people. And so the week before the end of the month, um, I started looking real hard at my numbers. What do I need? Where am I going? How much to get there? And then getting a roadmap together. How many people, how many promoters do I need to push? How many people do I need to make contacts with? And all those things. And I remember the very last day of the month, it was like 10:30 at night. I had someone putting in the last order, and I knew right then that I wasn't going to make it. And I knew right then that I was going to bed and I was not going to be 12K that month. And I was like, oh man, like this weird feeling happened. And I was like, oh, darn. I woke up the next morning, and when I woke up, Kelly had voiced me a message. And y'all, I didn't even want to listen to it. I didn't want to listen to it because at that moment I was like, I don't even want to listen to her right now. And I did. And I was like, oh, I don't even know what I'm going to respond back to her with. And I felt bad because I was like, man, I missed it. Like I fell short. And something came over me at that moment. And it was, I'm not going to quit this time. That's the easy thing. Like, I'm not here to have it easy. Like, life is hard, and what we want is hard. And what you work harder for means the most. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take this to ground level. So, several years ago, my husband and I made a commitment that divorce was off the table. And that's what we talked about, both of us, him and I, that was not an option for us in our marriage. And since then, y'all, it was probably 8 years ago that we made that choice. And since then, we realized that by taking that off the table, our communication has gotten better. Our ability to forgive and to come back together got stronger. And it's because we refuse to allow quitting to be on the table, to allow those outside things to distract us or pull us apart. And so it hit me at that moment on June 1st that it was the same thing. I needed to take quitting off the table. I needed to say, you know what? I didn't hit that last month, and that's okay because I'm taking quitting off the table. It is not an option. It is not going to happen. And so I responded back to Kelly's voice messages and I said, I'm in a weird place because I'm not going to allow myself to quit. I'm not going to allow myself to say, I can't do this. I'm not going to do it. And why? Because there are too many freaking people out there that need the product because they need to feel like we feel. They don't know that it's an option. They don't know that they can continue to do life. And in my mind, I was like, okay, these are those affirmations that we've been talking about in our groups. That's everyone's talking about journaling. And I was like, okay, how do I put that into play? How do I make that reality? Because in my marriage, it was easy because he was face to face with me. I live with him every day. We sleep in the same bed every day. So that was there. But how could I put that same practice here? How do I do that? And y'all, I'm going to read you messages from 3 different people that has happened in the last 2 weeks. And like I have chill bumps because I'm just like, my mind is so blown because I'm putting this into practice. I am reaching out to people who I know need this product. So the very first one, I put it in our chat. Her name is Stephanie. And I've been following her for 3-4 years now. And she is such an inspiration to me on commitment and making sure that she's showing up and she's doing. So I reached out to her and I let her know, y'all, I let her know that I was scared to reach out to her. I let her know that I am not that spammy person, but I knew what this product has done and I knew it could get her to the next level. And I asked her if she'd be willing to try it. And she said, absolutely. So 2 days on the product, 2 days, she said, what did you give me? This is weird. And she said, I need more of this. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is the block that has stopped me all this time because I was scared to reach out to these people. I was scared of what they would say. And in reality, these people need it. And so after 2 days of being on the product, she immediately threw out all of her old vitamins and ordered. Like, she was hands down ready to go. So I was like, oh my goodness, yay. So the next person I'm going to talk about, her name is Jennifer. all these people are okay with me sharing. I've already spoken with them. And let me give you a little backstory on Jennifer. Jennifer's my neighbor. She lives right down the road. I actually saved her son from a snake bite a couple of years back. And we've just been real close. One of those friends that it doesn't matter how much time you're apart, when you come together, you've never been apart. Um, and I've watched her over the course of several years struggle to live, struggle to be there for her family, struggle to, just show up. And I've seen that. I've seen it and I've watched it. But I was scared to reach out to her because what was she going to say to me? Was she going to turn me down? What was going to happen? And so every day when I've reached out to these people, I reminded myself, I'm not going to quit because these people need it. And so I reached out, and here's the message that she sent me. Now, this is a lady that's late to everything. Everything. My husband and her husband joke all the time that she is going to be late for her own funeral because she is late to everything. So, but she sent me this message. It was a Sunday. She had gotten up on time early for church, and she sent this, and she said, "My daughter said, Mom, I like you and this Thrive stuff." She said, um, "I hope that you never stop." And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, oh my, I mean, this woman needed it. She wasn't showing up for her family. And not only in the last week has she shown up for her family, she has been at her daughter's competitions. She has jumped fences and helped with horse training and all the things that she has been missing out on several years. And I will tell you, this lady, she tried Thrive and it didn't work for her the first time. And she told me, she said, I really think it's because of who I chose to thrive with. I was like, oh my goodness, y'all. People are watching. People are watching you. So the third person that I want to talk about is a new thriver that I got this week. She is an ER nurse. I have no idea who she is. I've never met her. She's not from our town. She's from Kansas somewhere. And she was on my Facebook. I have no idea where she came from. Don't know how she got there. As most of you know, we do try to add people and those people we don't know, but we're making those connections and that communication with them. We're building that relationship. And she reached out to me, and we started chatting. And I really want to read this last message. Because she's an ER nurse, I purposefully tried to touch on that pain point. We talk about pain points all the time, y'all. It's a real thing. Hit those pain points. And I told her, I said, it's such a passion for me to help people, and changing lives is almost as amazing as saving them. Being she's an ER nurse, that's what she does for a living, is saves lives. Her response back was, girl, if it changes my life like I hope and think it will, then it will be saving mine. I'm a cry. Because y'all, if I would have quit at the end of May because I didn't hit that goal, 3 people in 2 weeks wouldn't have gotten this product. So if I quit in next month, if you quit this month, who's not going to get this product? Whose life is not going to be changed if we quit? Because it is us that is telling them what they need, because they have no idea what's available. They have no idea what is to come. And most of them don't even realize that they're not living. They don't know. They don't know. So I say all of that to say, if you are in a place that you're just not sure, take quitting off the table and figure out where you're not sure of. Like, what is it that's stopping you? Figure what that is. Reach out to an upline, reach out to a partner, a sister line, reach out to whoever it is that you can reach out to and say, I've got a block and I need help. You're going to have to figure out what that is for you. And if it's taking quitting off the table, take it off the table. It's not an option. It's not an option for your family, and it's not an option for all of those people that need your help, because I mean, it's living proof in my messenger. There are so many people that need our help. So I have prayed so much that this would be beneficial for you guys to know that it is okay to not hit that goal. It is okay if you fall short. And I will tell you this, I didn't hit that goal in May, and then they relaunched the what do they call it, the rank advancements. So if I would have hit that 12K in May, I would not have the opportunity to hit that rank advancement, because it is only for us 4Ks and 12Ks. That is it. No one else is going to be able to qualify for that. And so I believe 100% that that was God. It's God's timing, and God knows when is the right time. But it's also our responsibility to put in that work and to run with it and to put in that time of talking to people. And as scared as you may be, send the dang message. Send the dang message. So that is the inspiration that I have for you guys tonight. Just know it is okay. We're all going to mess up, but there's a huge team here that is willing to say, hey, we got your back. We'll help you. Put us in three-way chats. I mean, we'll do that. And it's an amazing community that we have. The last thing that I wanted to touch on is, I know that there's a lot of new people, and I know we're recording this, and that's great. But there's a lot of people that aren't quite sure how to live your life and show your life through the social media. And I just want to, for whatever reason, I feel the need to say this is, show the dumb stuff. Because people want to see that stuff. If you have bloopers and a video, post it on your stories, because that is what's going to draw people in. It is not the perfect edited photos. It is not the graphics made by some professional highfalutin somebody. It is the real life things. And why that pulls people in is because those people can relate to you when it is just authentically you and your life. Show yourself without makeup. I've tried really hard in the last 2 weeks to really show my face, and y'all, the response that I have gotten has been crazy. So just be you. Be who you were meant to be. Show your face and show those awkward times and those things that you're just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Just post it. Because people are going to laugh and they're going to connect with you. So, I didn't want to go too long, but hopefully, and I didn't read any of y'all's stuff, because
I want to pop in too. And I just have to say, you guys, Becky, Michelle, Ashely, thank y'all for being on live. I'm so proud of you for showing up. Ashely, you just amaze me with your courage, with your strength and your tenacity and your honesty and your coachability. So you guys, one of the things I will tell, and Ashely is way too humble to say this, but I know each of you, and I know the people who will watch the recording will really be able to identify with these stories. And I remember, can you hear me okay? It says my internet's going in and out. Yeah. Okay. I remember sending that message, and you guys on the opposite end, you know, some of you may or may not know our story, but Ashely and I did not know each other 9 months ago. We live different time zones. We were strangers on Facebook. We connected about something totally different about Thrive. We built trust. We got to know each other as women, as wives, as moms. And Ashely did not want to thrive. Ashely didn't think she needed Thrive. Ashely was one of those people that I sort of forced it on her. But a lot because in my gut, those three people she's talking about, I felt the same way about her. So who do you feel that way about? And if you're not constantly, if you're not thinking about that person, or you're like, you know what, I've really slowed down on my connections, or I've slowed down on meeting new people or reaching out, that's okay. You guys, start tomorrow. Reach out to 2 or 3 people when we get off this Zoom. Don't beat yourself up about what's happened yesterday or last month or 2 months ago. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do tomorrow for your future. And Ashely and I connected that way. And you know, there's been highs and lows, not in our friendship, not in our personal connection, because one thing that Ashely has always been steady and true is being open and honest to me about where she is, where even when her you know, she wasn't as confident in either herself or her experience or her own personal, like, can she do this kind of thing, she was honest with me about it. And as someone leading someone, so when you're leading people on your team or when you're being led, that is so valuable to someone. Don't be afraid to say that. So when the month end of May happened, I knew there was disappointment. I've been in Ashely's shoes. I knew there was disappointment. I was heartbroken for her. But I knew that it was just a month. It was 1 month of numbers. It was 1 month of missing a goal. So what? Who cares? Let's fight. But what do you say? And I was intimidated about what to say to her, but I knew I had to acknowledge it. I knew I had to say, like, let's have a conversation about it, right? And so she was intimidated, or she was not sure what to say back. I felt the exact same way. So I don't want you to ever think that people are too experienced, or they've been too many places, or they've had too much success to feel the same emotions that you feel. Be open, be honest. And when she said to me, I've never had anyone say to me, this is the point where I quit. I was like, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And she goes, I've taken it off the table. I am like, she's a freaking powerhouse. I already knew it, but to take it off the table, and the blessings that have come in just these 2 short weeks since then, there's many more that, you know, she hasn't shared with you, but I want you to think down, like, what have you let the gas off of? What have you stopped yourself from doing? I have been in those shoes many, many times as well. And it's okay. Again, it doesn't matter what has happened in the past. It matters how you show up for the future. It matters what you do right now. I know some of you guys have hit 4K, but if you have not hit 4K, or you have not hit 12K, you have 80 days left. Should be running. What would $4,000 or $12,000 do for you and your family? But more or less, what would it do for other people? Have you shared it with enough people? And I just think that it's just so powerful. Ashely, your story is so powerful in the tenacity and the coachability and your honesty, because I do think sometimes people don't want to be honest because they feel that myself or any other leaders are going to be disappointed in them. And that's the exact opposite. You're so much more coachable when you can meet exactly where honesty is. So I just want to thank you for being transparent. I want to thank you for being honest. I want to thank you for being coachable. And I want to thank you for coming and saying, like, this is where I'm at. And thanks for sharing your heart tonight. And thanks for sharing your story. So Ashely, Michelle, Becky, I know y'all are on live. If you have any questions for Ashely, or you have any comments or anything, I don't know where you guys are at, if you can even unmute, but I know Ashely would be, you know, open to guiding you guys through any sort of questions, as would I. But thank you so much. And thank you guys for being on.
Yes, it's amazing, y'all. And I'll tell you, these people, what I did, and I reached out to somebody today. If you're scrolling through Facebook, if you're still a scroller, I do when I'm bored. I'll just do, whatever. So I do. And I actually reached out to somebody today who had gastro bypass. And I asked her about her journey. I asked her, how she felt and where she was. And then I asked her, "Can I send you a sample and you tell me how it works for you?" Because I haven't had anyone that's had gastro bypass yet. So why not try it? And she said, "Sure." So I did. I mailed her a sample. um, oh, you're welcome, Ashley. If you guys do end up having any questions whatsoever about chats or reaching out to people, I'm open all the time. So you guys can message me and I will be more than happy to help.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, I don't see any questions. So I guess we'll wrap it up with that. And you guys send the dang message. That is going to be the thing for today. Send the message. Yes. All right. So we'll see you guys later. Have a great and fabulous evening. And Kelly, finish enjoying your trip. Bye, you guys.